And as of tonight, 151 Kenyans are back home after being evacuated from South Africa after the government mounted an emergency repatriation mission amid escalating anti-migrant tensions. But while they escaped the violence, many have returned empty-handed, leaving behind homes, businesses, and years of investment, and now face an even harsher reality after being barred from traveling back to South Africa for the next 5 years. More than 200 Kenyans had appealed for evacuation as fears mounted ahead of a June 30th deadline issued by groups demanding that undocumented migrants leave the country. And TV's Ashley Atieno was at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as the latest evacuees arrived and now tells a story of survival, sacrifice, and the difficult journey of starting life all over again.
Alhamdulillah, nashukuru Mungu. Pia mama kinaona anafurahi. Wallahi, alhamdulillah, nashukuru Mungu.
One after another, they quietly walked out of the international arrivals terminal. Some wheeled the few suitcases they had managed to save. Others carried nothing more than a single bag. And for many, that was all that remained of lives they had spent years building in South Africa. Hours earlier, the latest group of evacuees had boarded a Kenya Airways flight in Johannesburg before landing at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport shortly after 10 p.m. But even after touching down, the journey home was not yet over. The passengers spent more than 3 hours undergoing immigration processing. Safe, relieved, but carrying stories of loss, trauma, and uncertainty. For 6 years, Ali Jelesanpul called Durban home. He built a business there, raised his family there, and believed he had found the stability he had traveled in search of. But as anti-immigrant attacks intensified, Ali says everything changed. His shop was raided at night. They looted his business, stole his phone, and assaulted him, leaving him with broken teeth. Months earlier, he says he had also survived a shooting.
Kwa duka yako wanakujanga usiku, late hours. Wengine wanapanda juu, wanafunja, wanaingia. Ndio hatuna risasi yote, ndio ukimbie tu. Alhamdulillah, nashukuru Mungu. Mama pia alikuwa anasema kila mara utoke nyumbani, nilimwambia sina chochote, unataka kukufa huko. Unataka kukufa huko, ananiambia kila mara hivyo.
For nearly 2 weeks, Ali and dozens of other Kenyans found refuge at Kenya's High Commission in Pretoria. But even after surviving the violence, another reality awaited.
But ni mzuri wa Kenya, tuko united, ile ingine permit ndio mzuri, unaweza kaa huko. But pia ile ingine nilisahau, wametupatia 5 years ban. Kwa passport, inaweza kuonesha kwa karatasi 5 years ban. Unaweza soma hata karatasi ndio 5 years ban.
For Anthony Gadhura, the promise of a better future in South Africa lasted barely a year. He returned carrying nothing more than a bag of clothes after losing his passport during the attacks.
Unavamiwa, said that they despise you, those guys. They are full of themselves, eh? They are so proud of they are full of themselves, eh? Said that hata ukienda kuongelesha English wanaongea tu ile lugha yao Kizulu.
The gratitude extended beyond making it home. Many of the returnees credited Kenya's High Commission in Pretoria for coordinating the evacuation, providing shelter, food, and emergency assistance during the crisis. But for many, returning home also meant leaving behind jobs, businesses, and savings built over years.
Hakuna kitu nimebeba kwa nyumba yangu mzima isipokuwa hizo bag mbili mnaona hapo, na hii ni luggage nimebeba. Na most of my savings nilikuwa nimeinvest to living a good life, because ukifanya kazi na uishi maisha mzuri, so una understand. And the small savings manze, si ati nitawadanganya, nikishaingia Uber hapa saizi na nikule siku 2-3, that's it.
The emergency repatriation followed appeals from more than 200 Kenyans seeking government assistance as anti-immigrant tensions escalated ahead of the June 30th deadline. The first evacuation flight brought home 26 Kenyans, the second 64, the third 47, and the latest arrivals have now brought the total number of Kenyans safely repatriated from South Africa to 151. A figure Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says reflects the government's ongoing efforts to bring affected Kenyans home safely. The journey back home may have been long, exhausting and marked by trauma, but tonight they are back to where they belong, safe on the Kenyan soil and reunited with their families. Even so, for many, returning home marks not the end of their ordeal, but the beginning of rebuilding lives interrupted by fear and uncertainty. Ashley Atieno, NTV.